turn it back on.
What's up, everybody? Welcome on. We have IMR Racing, Joshua Craig, Johnny Edgar, and Dylan White joining us with IMR. Thank you all for tuning in. Happy Father's Day to any fathers out there. We appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to join us on the Crashed It podcast. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So I got to talk about we're going to kind of take a couple steps back and how's the season going individually for you guys? I want to just start with whoever, and we'll just start with Johnny and go down the line. How's the season going for you? Take us through a few of your races so far.
Russellville, pretty hot start for me. Jumped out and won my heat and ended up placing third in Russellville in the feature. And then New Bloomfield, I took second and transferred, and I placed top 10 in New Bloomfield. So the season ain't starting out too bad.
How's your season going so far, Dylan?
It's managing. They ain't the best in the world, but it's just beginning though, and I'm trying out some new ideas, so I'm not really going out there full force yet. Kind of putting myself out there and letting my son drive more than anything, so teaching him more than anything. So I'm not making myself full potential on it right now, but I'm coming out with some new ideas. I'm trying to work the kinks out of some old cars first. So once the old cars are done, then I'll have my new car out there and have some fun. Turn it up a little bit.
How's your season going so far, Magic Man?
Oh, it's going. I haven't broke nothing.
Getting stuck on time.
Went to the feature twice, car bad, and the last one, dead battery in the feature because Johnny told me to back it up, and that's it.
Can't listen to the team.
Yep. And
We're
I
on
got
Spain.
a little ahead of myself here. Sorry, guys. I forgot to invite one other person.
Whoa.
Oh, no. Here comes Joshua.
Bringing in the tick.
Well, good thing I already mentioned about my new car.
Yeah, that's what made me think of, I
shit.
got to get someone else on here. Start talking about new cars. All right, he's sent in. What the hell? All right, so what happened? Walk us through your first race of the year. Did you guys have any new cars, new setups? Did you try something new, or any struggles getting back to the track?
We had a rushed build getting finished for the track for Russellville for our opening night. Took a little old and took a little bit of new in Landon's car.
Did you try anything new, or was that the same setup that you had from last year, pretty much?
His car is a little lighter. I mean, it's a little different style of building, braced a little differently, and I mean, it's pretty much, motor and driveline wise, it's the same. I'm just trying to figure out where to make a car stay together at.
Dylan, I know you just last minute everything, so.
Yep, I'm doing that right now. I'll get one bolt done tonight, and this Friday night I'll do the rest.
Like this Friday night for next Saturday?
Yep. Yeah. Saturday morning I'll have it fully finished. I'll have the motor put in.
Yeah, I know. So you've been keeping your cars out there, haven't you?
Yeah, they won't. For some reason, they keep on putting a lock and chain on it for me, so I can't pull it out.
I noticed that when I go by, I'm like, yep, still sitting in the same spot. Then the day before the races, the car's moved. So
Yep. No matter where my cars are at, they're gonna be last minute.
Just a little
Back to
easier
you.
having teammates now.
yeah, is that different for you, Dylan? You're a new member on this team. How's it feel having a little help around?
Is it help or is it a way for them to cheat?
Well, I don't know. I'm not teching the cars.
No, it's different for sure. I mean, I've had teammates in the past and everything, but I mean, you kind of know how the old teams were. But I'm still always been a only person on my own end. I mean, we can have seen colors and all that stuff and everything, but I've always went out racing on myself. This one's a little bit different because it is an actual team. We're all out there pitching in together and everything. If I have a broken car, they'll give me a car. If they have a broken car, they'll take one of my cars. I mean, it is an accomplishment on each end. So it's a little different for sure. I'm still trying to wake up and make sure I'm even on a team, but
Yeah. And let's talk about the camaraderie a little bit. I mean, you guys, I see you guys like posting on Facebook that you guys go out on the weekends, and I mean, figure eight and demolition derby is not the only motorsport you guys are taking part in.
no.
Joshua Craig, he's a truck pulling, and that's a sweet orange and black truck, by the way. And then you guys are all riding side by sides and stuff, and there's kickball tournaments, and I don't know what else you guys are doing, but it looks like a whole
Yeah.
lot of fun for
The
everybody.
kickball is just to keep our legs going from when we had the cat's pedal down. We got to figure out how to move it around to the brake pedal every once in a while. So we're trying to work our muscles around.
And these pictures that everybody's seeing in the background that's joining us in live, those are courtesy of Bent and Twisted Media. They've got their logo on the pictures right here. I put that on there for them. And yeah, they took really good pictures of some of the events. And that picture that's popping up right now, IMR, you guys went and took part in the like Lake Ozark off-road race and did pretty good in that.
We have to
How was that?
You can start out with yours.
Well, mine was pretty good for about the second lap, about the fifth jump, and then I shredded an axle.
So they had jumps out there in the videos I seen. It's really hard for me to make out what's what, were you guys jumping terraces, or did they actually bring in equipment and make jumps like they do for their side by sides and stuff?
No, it's more like I don't know. Just imagine ditch hopping in some places.
So did anyone lose an oil pan?
No. Actually, that's one thing probably nobody lost. There's more axles and probably rear ends and all that stuff coming out.
A lot of blown out struts, from what I heard.
Blown out struts, blown out tires, because after the struts blew out, you're blowing a tire out in the corners.
So take us through that. Like, whenever you guys signed up for that, was there a set of rules that you found somewhere, or how'd you even find out about this beater bash thing?
So Tracy is good friends with them all over there and everything, and then we just seen a Facebook post about it, and the rules are on there. It's just pure stock. There's no cages. You don't even have to take no interior out, no windshields out, or anything. The only thing they don't want on the cars for sure is no recast or mud tires or V-treads. They just want pure stock street tires on there, which I understand because it does tear the track up pretty good, and we are getting some speed out there anyways, and it can get pretty dangerous on that with no cages. So other than that, though, it's just a pure stock car, and No modifications at all anywhere. So
So was there a lot of like beating and banging that goes on during the race, or was it a pretty clean racing, or
it both. There was a there's a lot of people that are. They kind of asked us to come out there because they know how we are with our figure eight cars and stuff. They wanted us to actually show them what a bump and run should be. So they said, "Come out here, send it." So then we went out there and sent it. They put us with the cars, SUVs, trucks. It was a 2-wheel drive class and a 4-wheel drive class. If your 2-wheel drive is still going where you can have that in a 4-wheel drive class, you just couldn't do vice versa.
so did they race the both classes at the same time, or was it different, like one at a time, I should say?
They ran it like a heat system.
Yeah,
it
I
was a
just
2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive feature. They were 2 separate classes.
that's interesting. So let's talk about New Bloomfield. How'd you all fare there? I mean, it's been a couple weeks, so I've already done forgot about it. But how'd it go?
We ever went to New Bloomfield?
Well, you may not remember, but
I remember all too well. Well, I'll start off where I did all right for a little bit and everything. I took the Grand Am out with a smaller motor this time. I put in a 2200 in and got rid of the V6. I gave it to my son for a youth car. I kind of retired out myself, but I wanted to test some runs and see how the 2200 do in a lot heavier car. So, but I took my other car out, the Malibu, and I was having some pump issues, so it wasn't turning like I wanted to. So I just decided not to take it to the feature. Broken axle in the heat race, and so I just kind of parked it. Well, took it out in the heat consi and kind of had a little altercation happen and everything, which hopefully it's all done, but I can't say nothing on anybody else's end. So, uh, but went out there for the feature of the Grand Am and was doing pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's not the fastest car and everything because it had a lot bigger tires on it. I built it for a youth car after all said and done, but my broker rack opinion, I still run rack on that car for my son, so it broke pretty early.
so he hasn't got to run the hydro yet.
No, I want him to learn full old style first before I start putting him in some higher class stuff.
Yeah,
I don't need him getting too cocky yet.
yeah, his old back end was all locked up. He said, "I know exactly how his race went." So
Yeah, the back wheels they're getting wore out. They've been on their 4th year of racing, so they're kind of getting a little wobbly. And that one inside was locking up on the brake system, so I'm getting ready. I didn't realize. I thought maybe I was having an emergency brake issue, and so I kind of readjusted it and went back out there, and then realized it was locking up on me too. So it's kind of slowing me down in the heat race when I was out there with Chilton and everything. I ended up pulling first, but the only reason is because Chilton pulled off. So, but I was pulling second behind all that. So,
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. What do you guys? So as a competitor, how do you feel about that? You know, giving people other chances. He's already made the A.
that's how the
How'd you
sport
feel
is.
about
I mean,
that?
if we're out there to have fun, and we're not out there to take everybody out. I mean, we all just want to qualify and everything. Like I run 2 cars, yes, but I'll pull off. You'll see me out there doing donuts for all it matters. You know I'm different out there. But no, he came up to me. He says, "Hey, I already got in." He's like, I'm just going to see how the car drives, and if it does great, I'm gonna pull off on the last lap." And exactly what he did. He kept his word, and that's true. That's a true friend out there, family, all that stuff and everything. You can't expect any better than that out there on track.
Yeah, I think we learned from last year. When he says he's gonna do something, he usually goes out there and does it.
Oh, he's a man of his word.
Yep.
I'll give him that. He's a man of his word.
Well, so what do you guys do to those rear tires? Are we foam filling those, or are we tubing them, or what do you guys do?
Well, we're different right now. We we build a wheel and then tube it, and I don't know if it's any lighter or heavier. I have no clue. And we're trying to convince Dylan to go away from foam filled.
I'm still foam filled on where, but we're gonna try to see if I like the tube ones on this next race. Maybe you never know. So have backup still out there.
Yeah. Well, how'd your race go at New Bloomfield, Josh?
Oh, it was pretty good. There were some decent holes starting to appear, but put a new set of tires on the car this year and just sink her in the hole and hold her to the floor and pull on out. Till I got to feature,
Yeah.
and then we had the red flag, and I already knew I had a battery issue going on, and come to find out it was a junk master switch not letting the battery charge. So, and the red flag, car died, and that's where I sit.
Yeah. You were doing pretty good if I remember.
He was
It
coming
looked
up
like
to
you were.
pass me.
Yeah, I was going out there to wax Johnny.
Balls to the wall.
Yeah.
He was cheating though. I told him to back up.
So what's this kickball stuff that you guys do out there? It gets pretty intense, it looks like. Who came up with that? Like, where'd that all come from?
Oh, whenever we were kids, we used to play kickball with my mom all the time, and well, we get these month breaks in between races and whatnot, and it gets boring. We come hang out at the shop, and there's not a whole lot to do to cars or something like that, so it got boring, and we come up with the idea to just have a day, barbecue, kickball, whatever. And it ain't no different. For Father's Day today, we spent our day together playing cornhole and barbecuing, and it's just our team. Our team's a family. That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's what we see it in the pits too, and a lot of people that listen to this podcast probably won't know what I'm talking about. But you'll pull up to a show and you'll see a big old group of these IMR guys just hanging out and gals, and they're just having a time of their life. It looks like in the pits, and to me, that's what it's all about. It's the camaraderie that you see, and you guys are always seem like you're in good spirits most of the time, and that's what it's all about to me.
Look at me,
When
Dane.
we're not throwing our helmets out the window and stuff like that.
You got to make the hardest hits of the year somehow.
Hey, at least he had his helmet on and didn't go out like I did with no helmet for a little bit.
Yeah. But that stuff happens. So you said you have a new car coming out. What do you want to share any, like, what it'll be, or is it just a surprise?
It's just gonna be a stock Cavalier.
Yeah, just stock.
Yeah.
Pure stock. Going back to hobo style. That way I can have a little more speed out there. It's gonna be about the same like all my other builds and everything. It's just trying to do a little bit better steering setups and same stock motors and everything. I don't do high performance motors or anything. They're just driven by me. So, and obviously they do great out there and keeps up with some of these high performance motors. So, and trying some different tires and just stock stuff pretty much, but a little better.
IMR fabricated.
There you go. That might be a heavy car.
No.
No, mine is sticking to be a lot lighter.
We're trying to get away from heavy.
Yeah, you guys have probably got the heaviest cars out there, I'd say.
Well, the heavier they are, the harder Johnny hits you. So
How'd that go? Take us through that moment last year on both ends of this.
well, it was going pretty good. I kind of
So
personally enjoyed fair season.
We're at
Gives you-
Versailles, Missouri. It's the Bash. And,
That was Apple Fair.
was it the B main?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. One spot to go. Like one spot went, right?
Yeah. I was trying to catch Rhett.
Right in his
Who
little
were you
slow
trying
car.
to catch?
Rhett,
Oh
of
yeah,
all
Rhett.
people.
Yeah, Rhett snuck around me. I was trying like hell to catch him.
Sometimes the slowest car out there will outlast everybody.
And, yeah.
Well, he was turning some fast not laps that night.
Yeah,
So.
Josh was having a little too much fun, and he was playing peekaboo behind another car, and I didn't see it coming.
That hit hurt.
It wasn't a gentle kiss.
I didn't feel it. I was watching though.
So I remember when it happened. I braced myself and then leaned my head back up and kind of spit in my helmet to see if it was blood or just what it was, and seen a red flag.
Yep. Yeah, it was looked pretty vicious from my angle. I'll tell you that.
I know
You get those every
Corey-
now in the figure eight. You know, you don't always see the other car coming, and everyone's going full send through the center, and they don't ever let off, and it just gets brutal out there. So.
Well, I figured I'd be all right because Johnny was having a hard time hooking the tire with a heavy car, and that's the one time he hooked the tire is when I was right at the tire.
So can we expect to see you guys in Fulton?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if Dad will be in Fulton or not, but he'll have me, Landon, Dylan, and Josh for sure.
Yeah, I didn't know what we'd see at Fulton. It's you never know what you're gonna get on them shows where you have both figure eight racing and demolition derby. We don't know kind of how the cars will look. Some people that normally run figure eight will show up with a derby car, and you're going, "What the heck?" So, yeah, we never know what we're gonna get. So,
I'm just showing up in my stock car still.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
bringing any demo cars to Fulton.
Not that ain't figure eight, anyways.
Yeah.
yeah, I seen some. Is there a sponsor for Mad Dog in the figure eight? I don't know where that came out of, but I feel like it came from a familiar person. So,
Well,
but,
never know, but I don't plan
Nope.
on going for Mad Dog. I never do any race, but you just never know.
well, what all you guys got going the rest of the year?
Side by sides.
Are you guys? I was gonna say, are we doing any side by side racing yet, or anything like that?
Nope.
He does good enough to stay on four wheels trailing.
What happened with that? I
Side
heard
by
you
side.
kind of got ejectocito, cuz.
Yeah.
It was very ejectocito and everything. I had to go to the hospital to get checked out on that one. Bought a brand new machine and was on flat ground. Had the seatbelt locked behind me. Wasn't ready to go on trail yet and everything. And I launched and the back tire leaned down and shock blew out and popped my tire off the B and flipped me and ejected me out of the machine at over 30 miles an hour. So it wasn't a fun rodeo, I can tell you that.
Man, yeah, that's crazy. Well, with that being said, it's that time for our craziest moment on wheels ever. For either, I want to start with Josh and just go down the line on this. Craziest moment you've ever had on wheels. It can be anything. Just tell the whole story.
Oh, I'd have to say the craziest moment would be either jumping the railroad tracks here in Versailles or FF Highway.
Well, you got to tell us some more backstory than that. What do you mean? How high did you jump the railroad tracks, do you think?
Oh, you could
Or
get
how far?
you get
2 to 5
3 feet, yeah, at the railroad tracks in Versailles before they cut it down. Over by Gates, yeah, you get you about 40, 45 mile an hour and get 3 foot off that one.
What were you in?
An S10 pickup.
Well, when you came down, did it break in half?
No, but it didn't feel good.
You weren't going fast enough then.
No, it nosedived pretty hard. I think we bounced higher when we landed.
Yep. Yeah, when you break a frame in half right behind the cab, then you know you did something in one of
Yeah.
them.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Dylan? Yeah, I know you've had some crazy moments.
Probably my best ones whenever I took out the Grand Prix for Tough Truck years ago when your Jack and all them still had the Woods promotions going on. I had a car that was overbuilt and I had to use it for Tough Truck.
So you
So
cheated.
yeah,
You cheated Jack Woods rules? How do you even
I
do
tried.
that?
I tried, didn't work. So I had to go Tough Truck. Oh, 2 inches too
Where-
long, he said.
Where
The only
was
time
that
I get
at?
told that. Do what?
Where was that at?
That was in
California?
Versailles.
Versailles.
No, that was in Versailles and everything. Back in the day, I used to only do like 2 or 3 shows a year and everything. I wasn't a big into it yet. I couldn't afford to buy a bunch of cars and everything at minimum wage, so I just built cars for Apple Bash and the fair, and every once in a while I would go to California or Eldon. Other than that, though, I never went to none of the other races.
What about you, Josh? What's your craziest moment on wheels?
Get hit by a 10-ton car.
I don't have many crazy moments. I've been pretty fortunate for the most part. I think one of the craziest, kind of sketchiest, worried about anything moments whenever we was racing in Eldon and me and Blaine was coming across the track and I ended up meeting Chilton. Other than that, I was kind of scared because, you know, we both got pretty heavy cars and whenever you're a driver and you're heading for somebody's front end, you know, 90% of us got our doors built to take the impact. So that's where you go to.
Yeah. Well, you definitely went to it. That was a good hit. I mean, that was a crazy hit. So
I was one of them. You just get caught up in the moment, racing with somebody next to you, and next thing you know, you're in the middle of it.
I think he just aims
Yeah.
for him. He's took me out several times.
Your teammate
Yeah.
is different.
I think Landon
Yeah.
did in a little harder than that.
Anthony Wells commented Johnny could have added a heat trophy to that wall in New Bloomfield.
Oh shit. Yeah, I could have.
What'd he get? Oh, you let him buy you?
I didn't know there was trophies. I had a transfer spot and I was content.
Yeah.
I didn't know till a trophy either until Chilton told me.
Yeah. I had
So
no
you guys
clue.
got anyone you want to thank on here for all that keeps the IMR team kind of together, the glue, or do you have a glue person?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say
Yeah,
mom. Mom keeps us in line.
Yeah, she seems like she's she's not driving as much anymore, but it's you still see her at every race smiling, happy to be there, and man, that's instrumental to our sport. Everybody loves her. So
She's ready to jump in every car. She's ready to get out of the car swinging balls deep. So you just never know with her.
Never know.
oh yeah. Yep, she just likes to have fun. So well, what did you guys you got a show that you're looking forward to more than the rest this year? Or?
I'm always looking forward for the local shows here. Versailles is my hometown area and the Eldon area, so those are my favorite tracks. So
Yeah, it helps when you win quite a bit at Eldon. So
Yeah.
I don't win nothing.
yeah, okay.
I think my personal best track's Montgomery. Even though it's in the middle of the week, it's, I'm pretty familiar with track and dirt.
That's my
So-
favorite track. That's the one I take out at Cardwell.
There you go.
Sorry, Tony.
You'll be watching this. That'll rile them up.
Yep, I know he's
Sure.
watching it, so it's gonna make it even better. No, we get along pretty good now. We had our vacation a couple years ago, so we duked it out on the track and had our words, and we actually became pretty close after that.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Yep, that's how it goes. Years ago with Corey Basinger and Brian Nichols and all them, we had our thing right there in Boone County, right in the middle of the track, and now we're all really good friends. So,
Yep. Sometimes they become the closest friends after all said and done.
So, we've heard you got new cars, you got favorite tracks. Why you guys do this sport? Has it changed over the years, or is it still the same reasons? Or
Not for me. I get to hit people and not have to worry about insurance and cops.
yep, that's what you said the first time I had you on here.
Oh, there's an adrenaline rush to it.
Yeah,
Anymore,
for
it's
me,
just to see if you can do better than last year.
yep, it's that drive to that natural competitor coming out, and we can see it in your guys' cars. I mean, you guys are putting in the work to be able to compete at the highest level. You guys
Your
got
style.
built parts. Yeah, okay, whatever. You got some fabricated parts and stuff where you need to have them, and keep the car going. And you never know what kind of surface you're going to get in the Central Missouri figure eights that you see. Every track's different. So some tracks, that having that little higher end motor might be a little better, but other tracks that could hinder you. So I think it all equals out in the end. So that's why they just let them do whatever you want on that end, because you got to put it to the track. I mean,
Yep, each tire is different, each track, the motors each different. New Bloomfield, like it sucked my Ecotech down where I had better luck with my 2200 with the V treads on than I did my Eco with recaps.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of car is going to win the race for 28. Bigger track.
Yep, it'll be a whole different ball game this time.
Yeah,
We had 22 or 22 or 23 on there last year. And I mean, that facility will hold 28 easy. So
oh yeah.
It's definitely going to be a quick one.
yeah. Yep.
I'm just curious to know about how the intersection plays out with more room.
Oh, it's
Fastest
going to be
cars can
nuts.
Yeah, the fastest cars can jump faster, but I think the smaller cars will be the winners.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm curious to see if we'll have another Triple Crown person or not, because that was crazy.
Oh, that was pure luck, I guess. That's hard to pull off. That's a big win for Dylan.
Oh, he's got that new V6 car where he might come out dominating.
Maybe.
V6 King.
He made that car like it was nothing out there in the last race.
Yeah. So Austin Rourke, the race for 28 this year is at California, and the reason they did it is probably due to the problems we had last year with just for room and driver safety's sake. We feel like it's a better option to have it at a bigger track. It's nothing against the Russellville Lions Club or anything like that. It was just the size of the track with that amount of cars on there, and keeping the transponders in order and stuff like that. I mean, last year we had a huge pile up right in front of the transponders. Joshua spent 35 minutes watching videos after the race was
for
over.
the audience too.
So yeah, we're still working on some stuff to make it better for the audience on my end of it, and I think they're in too. But it's definitely gonna be we're working on some stuff for you guys on that end.
Just make sure you put another camera on a tire for race 28. That was a pretty good view in California last year.
Yeah, I just won't intertwine the videos though. I learned that
Yeah.
not a good
Yeah.
idea. But yeah, I'm gonna do that for sure. I might have one on each tire just to see.
That would be the one you should kind of go back and forth with, is on tire ones. Because
Yeah.
there's some wicked hits on there that you don't see on your upper camera, on them guiding the tires and everything.
Oh yeah. And I think it's gonna be even crazier with that many cars on the track shooting gaps, and that'll give everybody a
You're gonna
really
get
good.
some clips.
Yeah, it'll give everybody a really good idea exactly how tight the windows are, and then the openings that you see, and how fast they come closed. So,
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that definitely
that's-
gives you that on track view.
yeah, I really enjoyed that angle last year. Not a good idea to intertwine, because I know a lot of you guys like following the race, and it is hard to follow when you're switching camera angles and stuff like that. It was hard to follow who was winning or where people were on the track, stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun race right here this weekend at coming up. Saturday, June 21st, will be Fulton, Missouri. For anyone that's watching that wants to come out and watch a good show, it's you get 2 tickets for the price of 1, and it's pretty cheap. I've been going to derbies all around the country, and I can tell you, it's really nice when you only have to pay, $15-20 to get into a derby. Some of these derbies are pretty expensive to get into, so.
Yeah, Fulton's typically a pretty good show.
Yeah, and that track, I've talked to a lot of drivers at Madison. I went to Madison this weekend for the Derby up there, and a lot of drivers that ran on that track last year were there for like the Demolition Derby and stuff, and they said they loved that track. So
it's never the same either. Every race has been different. Where I remember when Tim Brook did the shows on it, the track was tacky, and then the last race before that, the last race, it was slimy as heck. Each race is always different.
Yeah, I remember them Tim Brooks shows too. Look at them checks on the wall. Yep, I did pretty good there. So, but yep, that track's different. And back when Tim Brook had it, that track was super narrow. I felt like they widened it out quite a bit.
It's a lot bigger than it was. It's probably good 10 feet wider on each end.
Yeah. It was always long. Yeah, we had a bunch of people. They said, man, we pulled into Fulton, and they said that track just kept going and going and going. I said, oh, yeah. We'll use it if it's there. We're going to use it. So,
yeah, that's a long track, long hits.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys got any predictions for the figure 8 in Fulton? What's up, Donovan?
What'd you say?
You cut it out.
Do you got any predictions?
Predictions?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
Any prediction?
Just
Yeah, it was good seeing you too, Si.
we're gonna try to put as many cars in the feature as we can, and I guess I'll predict we have at least 2 of us probably in the top 10.
I'd say that's a real bold prediction. I'm just kidding.
Oh, he'll take out the other 2 with his car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd say you guys will be just fine there. Well, do you think a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder is going to win the figure 8 in Fulton?
Oh, it's pretty hard I don't know. You got to have a lot of self control not to overdrive the V6 on the V treads, as slimy and hard as that surface is.
I'm predicting a 4-cylinder wins.
I feel that's more of a
Personal.
22. I feel that's more of a 2200 track.
Yeah, I think it's so hard. You see I feel like the 4-cylinders are going to do a little better, but I've been wrong a lot on here, so that's just my
I've ran the
prediction.
V6 on there. It overpowers itself on there. The Ecotech does overpowers and has its slow points. And when I ran my 2200 on there, I should have ran it last year instead of just taking parts out to fix my other car and everything, because it was a perfect track for that with V treads.
Yeah, I hope we have good weather this week, and it turns out to be a good show.
Shouldn't be dry
Well,
at all.
Let's talk about, so for someone getting into figure eight racing, I've had a lot of people message me lately about they're interested in the sport. They really are, but they don't really know where to get started. You guys have been around it for years. What would you tell someone that's, new to the sport or looking to get into it? Any advice for any newcomers?
I would say my personal advice is don't take safety too lightly. Everybody needs a good solid door spot, door bar and fuel cell mounted good. Need to stay protected because it's not, we get rough sometimes. Don't be afraid to take the step though.
Anthony Wells said, "You just come by mine." That's what he would tell them.
I say for any newcomers, if they never been on the track or anything, or if they just watch it from the audience or something, I would just walk around and start talking to all the drivers. Just let them give their advice, each one, and just kind of comprehend of what each driver says. So look at their cages, see how their safety is, what kind of harnesses they wear. Yes, I don't wear mine half the time, so don't listen to me. But but you just kind of around and get some advice from every driver. I can give advice. Johnny can give advice. Josh can give advice. Everybody has a different advice that will work in a different way. So kind of go around and just talk to everybody, and then watch the videos, watch how the races go, and then you kind of got an idea, and then you go out there and start with a hobo class. We got plenty of hobo classes out there, even a bump and run. Kind of get the feel of it before going out there and spending $500 to $10,000 on a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yep,
start out in the bone stock. Just see if you like it first.
That's what I've been telling everybody. I'm like, hey, we've got fair season coming up. This is perfect time to ask this question. There's cars on Dylan Cardwell's started a Facebook page on Central Missouri Figure Eight Racing. There's cars and parts starting to show up on there for sale. And I think Kyle Wardenhausen posted a really cheap Honda that could be a hobo car. He just don't have time to drive it. And I said, hey, go buy that. Get you a good, a pretty good set of street tires, because you can't run any treaded tires. I said, traction's key, and you want to protect yourself, build yourself a pretty good little cage there. So, and that's what I tell everybody. I'm like, go out there, see if you like it. You might love it, you might hate it. We've had drivers that, that started it, they've loved it. And then we've had drivers that decided they just want to do demolition derbies. And, and that's what they go to. Or we've had derby drivers come do figure eights, and now they're running more figure eight stuff than they do derbies. So we see it both ways.
Would be start out as a bump and run car. Start turning that way. You don't have to strip all the stuff out as much. You still keep your windshield in it, and kind of get an idea how it feels on getting some bumps in there first, and then go move up to the hobo class on figure eight, and then just move yourself up in the world.
Yeah, that bump and run.
If you're a child and everything, there's plenty of adults out there that would probably have no problems riding with a youth driver that's never done it before if they have a parent that's never done it. I mean, I know there's plenty of people out there that would love to. I love to teach kids out there. I mean, I can't really drive with every kid because I have my own out there still learning, but we got lots of drivers out there that probably wouldn't have no problems helping a youth class start learning in the bump and run.
Yeah, I love it. I love riding in the bump and run with my daughter, and the other one's already you know, they're on when can I start? Let's lie about my age. I'm like, they're your uncles. You can't lie to them.
Yeah.
They're like, I kind of look 10. I'm like, no, you don't. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out later on how to get 2 cars to the track, but I'll probably have to buy a bigger trailer or something. But
Those kids' reaction is 10
yeah,
times better than ours will ever be. So the reactions are sweet when they happen.
yeah, them reactions are cool, and the you know, just for me, it's the memories, man. She's gonna remember all these races the rest of her life. She remembers every detail about every race she's done already. And
Well,
I mean,
and if we're teaching them from a father or a mother, whoever's teaching the kid out there on the track and everything, they do remember that stuff. Every time when they get out there in the track, when they get older, 18, 19, even 16, they're going to have that mindset where dad told me this, mom told me that, and they're going to dominate. I mean, I wish I had my parents out there when I was a kid and everything. I could have learned how to do this youth stuff, but we didn't have all that. So I think it's a good tradition to start.
yeah, we're starting to see that first generation of youth drivers transitioning into the, you know, the big boy class, or the, you know, the
We got
Worthy Bell
Hunter.
Bonds figure 8 class. And you had Hunter, and now you have you know, Leland Bell. He transferred last year, and then I don't know why I'm drawing a blank with the other guy, Gatlin Folks. He just transferred in too. And I'm interested to see how them guys progress. As you know,
I
they're
mean,
young.
look at how Hunter did and everything. This was his first year starting out in the big boy class, and he did pretty. He won his first heat race, and even put the car on his top and everything on the first race and everything, and still put on a show. And
Oh yeah,
for only being 16 years old and everything, that's a pretty good start out.
yeah. What's your experience, Rayleigh? You like the youth class? Yeah, she got shy real quick when the camera's rolling. She was standing right next to me, so she's been watching you guys. But yeah, that's crazy just seeing the way these youngsters are progressing. And then, you know, just like one thing you said, Dylan said, well, I really enjoy, you know, helping kids out. Lucky Sevens makes a post, and look at that. We've already got two youth bonuses before anything else popped up. It was a youth class. You know, everybody's giving to the kids. So there's always support with the youth class, and you can always, if you're thinking about doing it, just do it. You won't regret it. Just build you a good cage, though, for your
Like I
kids.
said, there's lots of drivers out there would have no problems help teach these kids how to drive, and there's a lot of kids or guys that have no problems teaching these kids on how to build cars or whatever. I mean, my 13-year-old's out there. He's in wheels and axles and all that stuff, learning every day. So it's a good tradition to start learning, and you're just growing up in the world.
Oh, it's that time. We're gonna get a question from a listener here. While we're waiting, though, I've had so many people approach me this last, I guess, week or two. I guess it's been 3 weeks now since Border Wars. So many people's asked me, are you guys ever thinking about doing a youth full-size class for Demolition Derby? And got a question. And that message has been worked up the chain to Jacob and Joshua, and they're working on that right now. So That's all I can tell you. I mean, there's a lot of people that have interest in getting a full-size youth class going. They had one in Madison this weekend, and that was really cool to watch them kids. These kids had motors that, they were running cars that cost as much as my house probably. Like these little kids, they had some good setups. I was like, holy cow. It was fun to watch.
I talked to Jacob at the Eldon tournament the other day, and he's excited to have them kids come in.
Yeah.
I know when you guys did the compact of the kids a couple years ago and everything, when I seen that one little girl get out of there, I think when she was like 10 years old and everything, you can see the biggest smile on her face and everything when she had the one hard hit out there where, she wanted out of that car. She's like, I did that.
That's Tyler Ray's daughter. She loved every second of that. And I'm sure she'll be back this year. So
Yep.
She took third, didn't she?
second.
Second?
Yep.
She did
Cameron
good.
won. She took second. Yeah. Kyle was riding with Worthy, or I can't remember that kid's name.
Yeah, Landon.
Yeah. And they broke off when Cameron was coming across the track, and it came down to Cameron and Tyler's daughter. I can't remember her name for some reason. But
we had the other good one there when Kurt Turpin was riding with the boy. The axle popping every single time.
I've never seen that. I don't know how they were managing to get that axle back in the cup, but
He had that thing perfect every single time. Turn that wheel just enough, and they'll pop the axle back in. He won it.
Yeah, that was a battle, and that was at Lake Ozark Speedway between Hunter Bish and.
I'm a big driver.
Yeah, I know. We know.
I don't drive into things. I learn things.
Yeah, you gotta wait till you're 10. But
But that's my golden boot.
Yep. So who's the best IMR driver?
Oh, you pointing at me, please.
I would probably say the one that's hanging out on retirement.
Who's that? Tracy?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
pretty fierce with it.
She was doing a good job at the Derby, but Landon brought it home, didn't he?
A minivan class?
Yeah.
Yeah, she seen somebody hit me and thought she had to play mama bear. Went from sandbagging efficiently to junked in 30 seconds.
Yep, she seen Johnny get hit with her, so she went after that person with her, and then she seen me get hit, and she's like, yep, I'm taking them all out. And she took it out her own self, too.
Yeah. You guys talking about Carnage?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked her about that. I said, what? I said, you just had to put yourself right in the middle of everything? Oh, yeah.
I told her to play it along that she's just a girl as long as she could.
Yeah. I don't think it matters out there. But, well, we thank you guys for coming on the podcast tonight and catching up, talking about how your season's going, future plans. It's nice to check in with you guys, and I hope you guys have a happy Father's Day. Thanks for taking time out and joining me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not a problem.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, that was the IMR guys. They're awesome to, see out there.
Gave us me a fist bump before.
Oh yeah, they give him fist bumps pulling off the track, but
No, before.
yeah, pulling on the track. But them IMR guys, if you go to the show and you see them IMR cars down there, go say hi in the pits. They're awesome people to, chat with and hang out with, and it's just a good camaraderie that you see in the pits with them and how they interact with each other. It's really cool to see, and it makes you appreciate, how much effort that they put in to get into the track as a team, and showing up for each other. And in the pictures I had up earlier, they were showing up as well. And hey, shut that off.
I thought you're
No,
done.
shut it off. And yeah, it was just really cool to see. So I went to Madison, Missouri this weekend. I just want to recap on that real quick. Joshua and Jacob were going to come on here, but they're doing their Father's Day stuff. Hey, knock it off. Put it down. So I'm going to hit on Madison real quick. So I get there, it's perfect weather. It's a 4-hour round trip for me to get to Madison back, maybe 5. It takes me a little bit to get up there, but it was worth the drive. There's a lot of people that you see around the Derby world that you get to catch up with. Cy was on here just a little bit ago. It was nice catching up with him. He was there doing all kinds of stuff for, he was helping with the track. He was helping, with JM Derby products with their racing now. He was helping Micah, and he's helping up there at the announcer's tower as well. So, I'm not sure about that. I don't know if he won, if that was the same driver or if that was his dad. So, but yeah, the car that won the youth big car class won the youth stock or the stock class as well. So, it was really cool. When I got there, I wasn't sure how good the show was going to be because there was about 22 cars in the field when I arrived at the track. There ended up being about 50 or maybe a little bit more by the time that the show started. Shout out to Midmo Promotions. Everyone I talked to, I went around the pits, talked to several people throughout the pits, and everyone felt like they got a really fair tech. And that's what you want to hear when you go to these shows. You want to hear, I felt like I gave a fair shake, and I felt like, we're all even out here. And, there was a couple cars that ended up loading up. I don't know the story on that. I was kind of interested in seeing the wagon run, but he probably had a little bit too much to cut. I'm not sure what led to him getting loaded up, but it was a really good show to watch. Weather was perfect. You always take a gamble when you're traveling quite a ways away. The weather ended up being 70s all night long, which was great. Didn't even have to put a hoodie on. Everybody that said hello to me in the crowd made me feel like a celebrity. That was awesome. I appreciate every one of you. I signed some autographs while I was there, and for some kids that watch this channel and watch the derbies. It was really cool. Thank you to Midmo Promotions. Let me walk around, take videos of cars close up that were in the tech line and stuff like that. And the drivers that, they let me as well. It was really cool meeting the new drivers that, that are from like Illinois area. It's nice meeting you guys and talking about Demolition Derby with you guys before the show. But the show started.
The cake is good.
All right, perfect. Cake's good, guys. So the show started, they had Power Wheels go out first in the side. They put on their little show. Then we started off with the youth, like front wheel drive class. Right off the bat, kid backs up to the wall, sends it across the track, hits someone in the driver door, and the bumper found its way through the cage somehow and hit the girl's leg. I don't know how she's doing. They took her to the hospital. That's something you never want to see happen. That's why, I don't know if it was a freak accident or what happened there, but guys that are building the cars for youth, for sure, just try to put, if you're running any of the Lucky 7 shows, put some down bars in there. We don't want to see any kid get hurt, and we don't want to see anyone get hurt. Everybody's got to go to work or school, or we got athletes that are out on the track. We want to see everybody continuing to do well. Speaking of athletes, one of our drivers for Lucky 7s, Camden Tobin, bringing home, a really good score with the archery for nationals. He placed. Great job, Camden. Shout out to you. But kid backs up, driver door shot. They didn't break the stick off. I don't know. The car might have been moving, might not have been. It's hard to tell in that quick of action. Some of the fans next to me kind of got upset, but you got to make a call. And the kid was just trying to put on a show. Next thing, show gets turned back up, and I can't remember who won. I don't have the list right in front of me, but the youth front wheel drive, they made some full track shots, and they were fun to watch. So it's fun seeing them kids just back up and send it. The next show is Mod Compacts pulling the track. The DNR cars were there. They ended up winning. And then Ronnie Pickens goes end to end, hits someone with his front bumper, and it turns the car sideways and hits the guy's door. The guy breaks it off and throws a stick in the car. I don't know if he's meaning to hit Ronnie or not, but Ronnie jumped out. And when that happens, your stick gets broke. I don't know if Ronnie's car was done or not, but when you get out of the car during the derby, they break your stick. So there was some action there, and the compacts, the track was still pretty muddy. They tried putting on the best show they could. It was still pretty fun to watch. Then we had our van class came out. The vans were really fun to watch. That was like a full send van show. It was really fun. There was lots of big hits, lots of reels that are coming out. Some have already came out. I've been working all day on getting videos loaded up because I am going on vacation. So I'm trying to get everything set for the week. And it was the van show was one of my favorites. And then the front wheel drive, I don't know if you'd call it a hobo class or the adult front wheel drive class. That was my favorite one to watch. It had the most action, in my opinion. There was full send all the way across the track. Everybody was doing a really good job. One car got pushed completely out of the arena, like all the way. And, there was BDS or something like that. They were putting on a show. A lot of hard hits. Probably the hardest hit of the night was in the front wheel drive hobo class. Guy comes around. He's got like 20 mile an hour speed, making a corner at the very end of the arena, comes all the way across the track. Nice wheel shot, puts it on a guy. Great shot. One of my favorite hits of the night. Thanks for sending it, all the drivers in that class. It was really fun to watch. Then we had our youth full-size class. TJ John's son was out there. My opinion, he should have got the Mad Dog. I don't know who they gave it to. From the start, he was backing up, picking out a car, wheel shot, backs it up, wheel shot. He was putting on really good shots. It's good to see, another John's coming up through the family, and he had a pretty good setup, and it was fun to watch him, go out there and put on a show. And it just reminded me of watching TJ when he's younger, backing up, picking out a car, and just staying on him till he gets him out, then goes to the next car. The youth at the end of the youth class, them two young kids were out there, and they had a game of chess going that lasted a while. They both wanted it really bad, and they had a lot of patience, trying to get them wheel shots and stuff like that. And at the end of the night, the kid that won it, he did a really good job, protecting his car and his equipment. So, good job there. And then we had the full-size stock class. I don't know if his dad was running or if it was the same kid. Like, I don't know if he went up and ran with the adults, but another good show. The guy that had it won. I just posted the video, backed it up one more time, drives it up. Looks like he broke a tranny, and then the other car fires up, makes the last contact. Game over. There is only 4 cars, so it went pretty quick. Then we had the full-size hot stock is what they called it. Hayden White turned it up from the get-go. He's definitely the most fun to watch out there. Got down to the last 3 and he didn't have enough for him. I can't even remember who won, but it was one of the Border Wars cars. Gosh dang it. Talked to him before the Derby. I draw blanks when I try doing this without a list. I'm really bad with names, but it was a good show overall. I was glad I went. It was a fun night, when I hang out and watch Demolition Derby, and it's good to travel across. Oh, yeah, win. Yeah. Landon Wynn is his name. Thank you, Swipers. But yeah, Landon Wynn got the win, and he did a great job driving. I told him before the Derby, I felt like he did a really good job driving at Border Wars, and he's telling me, man, I destroyed my water pump, destroyed all kinds of stuff trying to run it down at Border Wars, and just ran out of car. So it was nice to see, someone pull it down and go back out there and be able to compete at another show. So good job, Landon, and all the drivers that showed up. We appreciate it. I really appreciated meeting every one of you guys that I didn't know before and catching up with the ones I did know. Madison, Missouri, all in all, was a good show. Great job, Midmo Promotions. You guys kept the show rolling pretty good. The only thing that I would like to see different as someone that goes to a lot of derbies is they had an intermission right before the full size stock class came out, and there's 20 some odd minutes, and I was just hoping to see someone get in the skid loader and scrape the track off. I don't know if it would have made it better or not. I felt like it may have, just for attraction standpoint, but I don't know the dirt there. That was my first time ever going to Madison. Just personally, I was like, man, I wish they'd scrape this, but the drivers did everything they could, and the promoters did a really good job putting on the show. So great job. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Happy Father's Day to all your fathers out there. Go spend time with your kids. Time flies, and we all, that's what I'm going to go do, is spend the rest of my night with the kids. And thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Crash Tips Podcast. This weekend, Fulton, Missouri, it's going to be epic. Come check it out. If you're a driver, come drive. If you're a spectator that loves Demolition Derby or Figure 8, 2 shows for the price of 1. Got a lot of local support backing us up on this one. It's going to be a good show. I cannot wait. Lots of people, lots of community support. They put out sponsorship stuff, and more stuff came out there. My thought on the youth front wheel drive hobo was a good derby. There was a couple shots that, you're in a tough spot when you're the promoter. You see a kid get driver doored and hurt. Do you break the kid's stick, or what do you do? And it's all comes down to spectrum and viewpoint, I think, on the wall. For me, I think I would have broke the kid's stick just because it was it looked like a blatant door shot. I'm not sure if it was. I mean, I know the kid didn't mean to do it, but from my angle, it looked like he could have slowed down a little bit before contact. And there was, from my angle, it didn't look like there was any braking action. It looked like it was a full send into the door. As far as the rest of the class went, thought it went pretty quick. I mean, I would have liked to see some of the kids last a little longer to see, all the complete carnage that happened. But I do know the winner last name was Burton. Maybe this is someone from his family. But that kid drove a really good derby. He used up his front and back of his car. So that's what I think of it. I think it was a really good show. For the track, for the surface was pretty wet. Someone told me they had a half-inch of rain the night before. And I mean, what do you do as a promoter? They did all they could getting the track ready. So yeah, I don't agree with that. For me, I want my kid to learn to control the car fully. We're trying to teach these kids, to take the next step. I don't think they should have a brake pedal on the passenger side, but maybe that could have changed something. But then again, when that kid gets older, they're not always going to have someone there to hit the brakes for them. And that's what we're trying to do with the youth, is prepare them for that next level. And that's any promoter. That's what they're trying to do, is prepare them for the next level of demolition derby or figure eight, and driving on the streets. A lot of these drivers, these parents, you ask them, they're going to feel way more comfortable with their kid ever driving on the highways, being defensive drivers that you have to be in this day and age when everybody's playing on their cell phones, not paying attention to where they're going, to be able to make, smart decisions and give yourself a better chance at, making it through from 16 to 21 without that crazy accident happening. That could have been avoided. So that's where I stand on putting the brake pedal on the passenger side of the car for youth. Great conversation point, though. I think many people may agree with that. For me personally, I'd rather, this is live. This is no time to think about it. I'm telling you how I feel about it. And for me, I'd rather see them live and learn and get older and grow with the sport, But I mean, from a safety aspect, it'd probably be a little safer, but you got to learn sometimes. So let's see here. But I think it was a really good show. So, well, thanks for your input, though. Really, Austin, honestly, that's a pretty good idea. But for me, that's my side of that. I like seeing these kids go out there full control. And that's part of it. That kid that had the driver door shot, probably like my daughter. She don't know where the brake pedal is. She just hammers down, and whatever happens. You're just along for the ride. So she's learning what that other pedal does sometimes when we're pulling on the trailer, but that's about it. But overall, I love seeing all the youth support. Midmo Promotions did a really good job promoting the youth and getting them out there. They had a lot of youth show up, and looked like they had a lot of support from parents and drivers. And I enjoy watching them kids get out there and do their best. So great job. I'm ready for Fulton, Missouri, though. It's everybody, it's going to be a really good show. We've got a lot of animosity going up, leading up to this show. Will anything come of it? As someone that works with the promoters, I hope not, but we never know what's going to take place out on the track. And we always told someone, if you got a problem with someone, settle it on the track in your cars. So we never know what'll happen. So I can't wait. I think it's going to be a really good show to be at. I think we're going to have quite a bit of hard hits. I'll be there recording, making reels, and giving you guys the best memories I can from my angle. So, yeah, I'll go back to Madison. I don't know if it'll be this year. I don't know what their schedule's looking like, but I'll go back. Yeah, I would go back. I feel like without the rain, I feel like they would have had a better track, and the show would have been a lot harder hitting. So, but we're hoping for some good weather this week, and hoping that we can give you guys the best track possible to run on and drive on. And Lucky Sevens Promotions is a driver's first organization, and we're gonna let you guys go out there and do what you do and put on a show for the crowd. And it's going to be a night full of memories, and I'm going to be there to capture them for you guys. And I'll be announcing as well. So if you're watching this podcast thinking about running and you've got a nickname or something, when you sign in, tell them your nickname and they'll put it on the sheet for me. And don't worry, I will announce anything on there pretty much. So as long as it's family friendly, I will announce it. So thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Crashed It podcast. Go out there and send it and bend it, and we'll see you at the next show. Thank you.